Bulletcast for life.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know the name, you know the voice, you know exactly why I'm here. I am a 12-time, I'm actually an 11-time Bulletcast champion. I had to go back and look at the records. You know, in wrestling, the numbers go up. You just keep exaggerating. But on the line is the current reigning and 12-time Bulletcast champion, the Canadian Destroyer, BT, Brandon Tanguma. Brandon, successfully retained at AEW? This is a first. 2021 might be your year.
I know. I think this is the first time I've ever done it. I don't know how many AEW shows there have been that we've had the title online, but yes, I finally did an AEW title defense. Me and Phillip might have actually tied. We both only had one miscalculation, so good on our parts. Since I'm the champion, tie goes to the champion.
I had a lot of miscalculations. You and Huey tied, but as we say, the tie goes to the champ. The next time that title's on the line is Money in the Bank, and I'm coming for it. I'm ready. But we're not alone. We have the sensational Sherry of the BC, Cindy OK, the full OK.
That is right. I decided, with my Twitter and my Instagram, I have to match with my TikTok handle because of a lot of things that have been going on with TikTok. So I have to go from a short OK to OKAY, y'all.
Hey, I love it. I'm always here for the proper grammar. So we are here to talk Double or Nothing, the ins and outs and everything in between. Brandon, he usually kind of leads the charge in these pay-per-view analysis. Well, he
like saliva, always.
Whoa, okay. Brandon, take it away.
Well, we got to talk about the pre-show. We got to show some respect to the ladies on the pre-show. Serena Dee takes on Riho to defend the NWA Women's title, and Serena Dee actually retains it at 14 minutes, gets that NWA title back. Once again, this match was completely in the sunlight, so it was kind of hard sometimes to see because the sun was glaring in on the camera, but I thought this was a phenomenal match. Riho, we haven't seen her in a long time. She comes back. I almost kind of feel like she's the female version of Darby Allin because she's so undersized and so great at selling, and the crowd is really behind her, but unfortunately she couldn't get the job done. Serena Dee taps her out. Cindy, what'd you think of this pre-show match?
This pre-show match, I would say this is one of the best pre-show match I've seen in a long time because the fact that we have a full capacity of fans that are behind this matchup, it actually set so much joy for everybody to watch ever since the pandemic hit last year that there was no fans. And now we finally have fans once again. I feel like wrestling is kind of almost 95% almost back to normal. And seeing the reaction when Riho came out to her entrance, followed by Serena Dee, you could tell they're pretty choked up for the fact that there is a full fan out there. And, Serena Dee being the NWA Women's Champion, this first time that she actually showcased as a champion in front of a live audience. Overall, the match itself was really superb. I do like Serena Dee's attitude. She came off as a heel during the matchup, which it kind of reminds me of her time in WWE when she used to be part of the Straight Edge Society alongside CM Punk and Luke Gallows. So it pretty much nice. Really amazing seeing Serena Dee doing this couple submission holds. I mean, she is, of course, the woman with 1,000 holes. And I like how Riho did couple counters and trying to escape to some of Serena Dee's submission hold. But all in all, it was a very stellar match. And of course, Serena Dee did deliver the Serenity Lock to retain the title. And the crowd energy definitely helped so much with this buy-in.
Absolutely. She has a move called Detox. What move is that exactly? Do we know?
The Detox, I believe, is kind of like the STO, I believe.
A nice juice cleanse.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see. The match was good. Serena Dee really playing the heel, obviously, because her opponent was undersized, so that it just made sense to do the babyface heel dynamic, even though they were both faces. Crowd was hot. Obviously, it's the first action they're seeing that night. And it was a long night. Let me tell you, I still have some qualms about how long these AEW shows are. TK, you need to look at Vinnie Mac. Those things are like 2.5 hours and we out. You know what I'm saying? We need to start getting on that track. You feels me? All in all, I thought both women, they played their parts extremely well. It was really good for 14 minutes because I'm watching the pre-show and I'm like, oh, a lot of video packages. When's the women's title match going to happen? We're running short on time, but they worked it out. It was great. And kudos to both women. Riho, it was said that she was going to be leaving the United States. It was going to be her last match, but they said on commentary, this is going to be her permanent stomping grounds. So we're going to be seeing more of Riho and AEW.
Indeed.
I'm glad to see that. I mean, she hasn't been there in so long, and she comes back and has a banger. Serena Dee, honestly, was someone who I not exactly doubted, but I wasn't going to sit here and like sing her praises and say she was that great. But the back-to-back matches with Red Velvet and now with Riho, I mean, I think I'm on the Serena Dee bandwagon right now.
I've been on the Serena Dee bandwagon since she was in the Straight Edge Society.
Indeed.
I mean, even though I myself am no longer straight edge, I still support the lifestyle.
Of course. And now Serena Deeb is going to be having a bigger competition comes with the NWA's pay-per-view when the Shadow Falls coming up, which she's going to be facing either Camille or Thunder Rosa to defend her NWA women's title.
That's going to be very interesting. Brandon, what happened to open up the main show?
Well, we get the introductions of Taz and Jim Ross. They do their little entrance, and we actually kick off the main event proper with Brian Cage taking on Hangman Adam Page. And this was the opening match. It goes about 12 minutes. Ricky Starks and Hook come out, and Brian Cage tells them to, fuck off. I don't need you guys. I'm a big boy. I can do this on my own. But in the end, Hangman Page does get the win. Cage does kind of, he doesn't exactly break off of Team Taz, but it's something we kind of saw a few months ago, and now maybe it's coming to fruition to where maybe he's going to be his own guy. But yes, Hangman Page gets the win at 12 minutes. Fun opener, crowd continuing to be hot off of the buy-in show. Phillip, what did you think of this proper pay-per-view opener?
I thought it was great. There was a little extra oomph, a little extra spunk in the work rate tonight by both of these men. I mean, the Cactus Jack lariat over the top rope. Hangman Page taking a page out of. It's funny. Hangman Page took a page out of Mick Foley's handbook. The Arihara Moonsault. Then you have Cage hitting a McGillicuddy, taking it back to when Curtis Axel was Michael McGillicuddy. I thought that was pretty nice. The deadlift superplex onto the ramp, the F5 from the second rope, and then the buckshot lariat into the F5. I thought that was a cool thing when Cage attempted Hangman's move. But all in all, the distraction finish, buckshot lariat, 1, 2, 3. Hangman Page picks up a huge win to start off Double or Nothing proper. Cindy?
Indeed, especially when Brian Cage came out, he dressed up kind of like the Terminator. So I was like, what in the hell is going on? But all in all, with the crowd reaction definitely helps with this match. It actually really did give more of like a higher energy for both opponents, especially the fact that we can finally hear Hangman Page's chant, of course, like the whole crowd did chant cowboy shit over and over again.
It was great. It was great. I loved it.
It's really great. I actually enjoyed it a lot too. And it definitely elevates like Hangman Page doing as much as like different counters from Brian Cage, of course. And especially I like the fact that Brian Cage actually delivered the spinning Liger bomb for a 2 count to Hangman Page, of course. Now with Hangman Page picking up the victory, and we saw what's going to be happening with Brian Cage along with like the aftermath of what's going to be happening next with Team Taz, that it's going to be like a more of a focus of like a breakup from Brian Cage to Team Taz. And I think that is something that like we all need, because AEW really needs to reduce the faction, in which I'm like, really, really against of like higher faction.
Yeah, I mean, but we know why Brian Cage was dressed as the Terminator, right?
Yeah,
because he loves Triple H.
Because he's the Swolenator. Hey.
Oh yeah.
I want my royalties once that's a big thing, guys. You heard it here first.
But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the match. It was fun to see the crowd really get behind Hangman Page as someone who wasn't, he wasn't really pushed on a top tier level for these past few months, and the crowd still behind him. It's nice to see, especially because we all kind of assume Hangman is going to be the guy to take that title off of Kenny Omega. And at 12 minutes, it was a little bit of a sprint, but it wasn't exactly a spot fest. I enjoyed it. I thought if given the time, this could be a really fun match. And put it in the opener where the crowd was super hot. It definitely delivered. Then we get the tag team.
Not to cut you off, even though I
But you
just
did.
did. Yeah, Sting and Darby was supposed to be the opener, but obviously that couldn't happen because it was too light outside, and Sting needs to make an appearance when it's dark.
Yeah, it's the old Undertaker thing at WrestleMania 31.
I know, right? Should Sting just wrestle on AEW dark? It's dark all the time there.
Yep.
Is that a thing? Should that happen?
I don't watch dark, so doesn't it happen during the day?
Yeah, I do. Even though like most of the matches, they wrestle during the daylight. I was like, what is going on? Especially on AEW Dark Elevation too. But I wonder what's going to be happening now that like they brought in the full fans moving forward, since they're now having a lot of fans like moving forward, especially with Dark Elevation.
See, honestly, I think they'll just do like a couple matches before, like kind of like WWE. They do like some dark matches, or WWE they take like main event before like a Raw or a SmackDown, and then they'll have like some dark matches after like the main show is over. So I'm sure they'll do some stuff like that.
Check the dirt sheets if you want some AEW dark spoilers, because they recorded some stuff on Friday.
Yeah.
Then we get that tag team title match. The Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, defending their titles against Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Moxley continuing to come out to Wild Thing. We get it with the full capacity crowd. Everyone's singing along to it. They have both pairs of the Jordan Dior's. And then the Young Bucks come out, and now they're wearing the off-whites. And now Nick has a full-grown mustache, a full-grown beard. He has light brown hair. Cindy, your thoughts on the actual entrance and just kind of everything at the beginning of the match?
Well, I must say it was great seeing Moxley and Kingston coming out to a Wild Thing while the fans actually sing along. Especially you could see the expression from Eddie Kingston. He felt so excited and very, very in full joy that like, there's a full like capacity of fans out there too. And especially like it brings like more of a higher energy. All in all, the match itself was pretty solid. However, I do have like kind of like let's just say a not so favor, because there has been some run-ins going on. Like you have Carl Anderson coming out of the stage while Kingston and Moxley just like stop and stare down. And that's where Doc Gallows was about to enter the ring, but then Eddie Kingston did stop him. And so there has been like a pretty much interference going on. And then there has been Frankie Kazarian come out and start attacking Carl Anderson. So there has been like a brief melee going on. And then of course the match continue on. Then you have the Young Bucks actually deliver the Meltzer driver on the ram to Jon Moxley. Then you saw Moxley got busted open pretty hard. Like, Jesus Christ.
I don't want to be that guy, but it was an indie taker.
Exactly. Exactly. And then Moxley did hit Matt with the Moxley and Kingston did hit Max Jackson with the Doomsday device for a 2 count. Then Moxley with the lariat to Matt, then a paradigm shift for a 2 count as well. And of course, like towards at the end, the Young Bucks did not 1, but 2 super kick for a 2 count. And then towards the end, the Bucks did not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 BTE trigger to Moxley until he is dropped down. And that's where the Young Bucks retained the title.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was good. I mean, Nick Jackson with the more of an auburn colored hair, I like it. The off-white shoes, I'm a fan. I mean, yeah, I mean, you look at it. I mean, Nick even did a little Macho Man pose in there. Mox with the X-Plex pile driver combination to both Bucks. I thought that was very impressive. Kazarian had the little run in to stop Doc Gallows. There was a hairspray spot to Mox. Multiple BTE triggers. All in all, the Bucks retain in a banger of a match. The Wild Thing, it worked with the crowd being there, but once Mox and Kingston get away from this whole little tag team thing they're doing, I need Mox to go back to his AEW theme.
I agree on that.
Yeah.
I love this match. It clocks in at 21 minutes. I think this was the best match of the night. I mean, there was question marks coming in because Moxley and Kingston are more brawlers and the Young Bucks have their own certain kind of high-flying style, but I thought they meshed fantastically well. You got more Moxley and Kingston style at the beginning, and Kingston selling early, hot tag to Moxley, then Moxley sells, hot tag to Kingston, and then the finishing sequence, and Moxley eats the pin, which is something that maybe not a lot of people expected. Kingston kind of the designated fall guy, but I mean, as Cindy said, 4 BTE triggers is definitely enough to put the man down and kind of protect him to not make him look as weak. But I thought this was a phenomenal match, and it just kind of shows that I saw a TikTok that someone was just kind of burying the Young Bucks, how trash they are. But if you're a hater on the Young Bucks, I think you need to watch this match and you need to come to the realization that they can really, I mean, they can do anything.
Look, man, I used to be one of those people. Like when we first started this podcast, Brandon, I wasn't really on the Young Bucks bandwagon. I mean, because like I believe in protecting certain moves like a super kick and finishers and whatnot. But as I started to watch these guys, I mean, those dudes, they're nice. They're nice. They can constantly have the match of the night. You look at the stuff they did in Japan with Kenny and Matt selling the lower back, which sometimes he still sells till this day. And that was like 3 or 4 years ago. These guys understand storytelling. They know continuity to storytelling. They can be these arrogant prick dick heels, and then they can become beloved underdog baby faces. I'm a fan of the Young Bucks, and how can you not like these guys? How can you not?
Because it's cool to hate the things that the internet loves.
I mean, but I guess I guess. I mean, you only hate the Young Bucks if you're like Jim Cornette. Am I right?
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Oh boy,
Mr. Sleep with My Wife.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, there was a casino battle royal that took place. The Big Show, Paul White came out. No More BS, and he was the special guest commentator. We had Christian, Matt Sydal, Powerhouse Hobbs, the Natural Dustin Rhodes, and Max Caster as the first group, and Caster rapped not his best, but
hold on, bro. Caster said Christian was cool when he had an edge. I was like, ooh, damn. Yep. I popped for that. I'm not gonna lie. It was cool. Christian Cage coming out, being the first entrant. I know his theme song is like an Evanescence song. They need to add the words to that thing. I think that would be cool, having the crowd sing along to that. Just my personal opinion.
Yeah, but that's his old TNA theme, though.
Yeah, no, it was they took it from an Evanescence song. They just took the instrumental, so I'm saying add the words, and then it'll be even better. I'll send you guys the link. You guys can be the judges for yourselves.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, I do miss listening to them, like when I was in high school.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm old.
The next 5 were Matt Hardy, Preston Vance, the half ripper, Nick Comoroto, and Serpentico. So that was the next group. I mean, loaded lineup we have over here. And then Brian Pillman Jr., Griff Garrison, Anthony Bowens, Pentagon, Cole Cabana, Garrison, and then let's see, Jungle Boy, Mark Quinn, Evil Uno, Lee Johnson, and the mystery opponent, or the mystery whatever wild card, is Lio Rush.
The man of the hour, the Moth, was in full effect at Double or Nothing. That was I wasn't expecting that at all. I thought Andrade, people speculated Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, making a run in and stuff like that. I didn't expect Lio Rush. I genuinely popped. I was happy.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a fun kind of moment because I didn't expect someone super big like Bryan Danielson or Andrade. It didn't make a lot of sense, but having someone kind of like Lio Rush, where it's fun, whether it is a one-off or he kind of sticks around for a little bit. I mean, I thought that was kind of just the perfect scenario for him to come in, and he came in. I mean, his little interaction with Matt Hardy was not the cleanest of moves, but overall, I mean, he looked really good, and he's been doing some good work over at GCW and over on the indie scenes. But
he's also part of New Japan Pro Wrestling United States, which he mostly wrestles for New Japan Strong. So pretty much there has been a continuation of the Forbidden Door.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this right now. If he sticks around in AEW for a little bit, him and Jungle Boy, him and Pac, him and Rey Fenix, him and Serpentico, him and Orange Cassidy, give me all of that real quick before he walks away.
And a possible, a match between him versus Jon Moxley for the IWGP United States title.
Oh yeah, throw that on Dynamite for sure. Throw that on a big episode of Dynamite. I'm with all that.
I would like to see what him and Miro can do and just say, like, oh, WWE could have had this, but you guys messed it up. But overall, the final 5 was Matt Hardy and Private Party taking on Jungle Boy and Christian, and then Christian and Jungle Boy, they do their thing for a little bit. And not to toot my own horn, but I picked Jungle Boy to win, and this was almost exactly the scenario that I kind of played it out in my head. They go back and forth, but in the end, Jungle Boy throws out Christian, and the crowd was going bananas. They really liked Jungle Boy. I mean, they were kind of booing Christian a tad bit, and I think this is what's going to happen with Christian throughout his career in AEW is people like him, but if you put him up against like another babyface, more often than not, they're going to side with the other person. Well, but Jungle Boy does get the win at 24 minutes.
Look, Jungle Boy he's a young kid with a hot little theme song. How dare these people try to boo Christian? He's a Hall of Fame worthy talent, multiple time world champion. How dare them? Look, it's Jacksonville. Let's go to Chicago. Let's go to Indianapolis. Let's go to Poughkeepsie. Let's go out here to the Bay. It'll be a different reaction for Captain Charisma. Believe that.
Yup.
Believe that.
If Jungle Boy and Christian go against each other in the Bay Area, I think we would go more towards Jungle Boy, but we claim him.
I will be leaning towards Christian. I mean, you have to remember, I'm an honorary Canadian. You guys have to remember this.
Same.
So you see.
I was once engaged to a Canadian.
You see, we overrule you here, Brandon.
Well, I'm the pseudo host of this podcast, so all the Canadians can go F off.
Whoa!
Hey.
For booing Bailey that one time.
Look, but dude, that was like 4 years. That was like 4 years ago.
I hold grudges.
Cindy, were you listening to us like in 2017?
Of course not, because no one was.
Yeah, my bad. But I'll definitely will check and listen, and then I'll definitely read you more, Brandon. Keep in mind, I am a promo artist in training, though.
It was one Raw in Canada. They booed Bailey, and he has not forgiven them ever since.
Mm-hmm.
Bizarro land. I'm with Jerry the King Lawler.
He considers it the new Montreal screw job.
Exactly. But yes, you guys, Cindy, what do you think of a Jungle Boy becoming the number one contender? He will face Kenny Omega, spoiler alert, in 2 weeks.
Yeah, this is pretty unexpected. The fact that Jungle Boy did defeat a Christian Cage in the Casino Battle Royal. That was coming out of nowhere. But at the same time, it's kind of like a feel-good moment because you have the whole fans right behind him. And they sing along to Jungle Boy's theme song, Tarzan. Is it Tarzan Man or Tarzan Boy? Either one of them. But I just feel that Jungle Boy winning this is just only for the fans itself. But facing against whether it's Kenny Omega, Orange Cassidy, or even Pac, I just don't see him as the one that's going to be a champion worthy. But the TNT title, yes, it would make sense. But for a world heavyweight title, I mean, is he on the higher level in AEW? Because to me, I just feel like he has a little bit of a long way to go until he has to go into the high caliber in the roster too. But it's pretty much a feel good moment, especially good for everybody in California, mainly in the Northern California wrestling scene.
No, yeah, I mean, I've had conversations with Jungle Boy. A nice kid. I'm glad he won this. Genuinely happy for him. But he's been in this position before. He wrestled Jericho when Jericho was AEW champion, and we obviously know the outcome. So it'll be a good match. It'll be a nice showing for him, but he won't get the job done. And I think if they introduce that trios title, that could be something for him, Luchasaurus, and Marco Stunt to do. I'm an advocate of them introducing maybe a cruiserweight or light heavyweight title because I think he could be the first champion there, and that would really be something. Well, okay, look,
no more titles.
Listen to me. I am the president of the no more titles or too many titles bandwagon. I'm the president. But listen, what do they have? What, 4 right now? I have 4, right?
Let's see. AEW World Title, Tag Team, the Women's, the TNT title. Oh, and the FTW title.
That's not an officially sanctioned championship. So look, if they add a light heavyweight title, that's 5 titles. That's perfectly fine. That's okay.
No more titles.
Once we start getting to 8, 9, and 10, and 17, I'm going to be all right, what are we doing?
What are we becoming color coded and they all look the same? Then that's when we have a problem.
And the shape will be defined.
But the match, I thought the match was meh. It was kind of like a bring down. The last 5 minutes, when Jungle Boy and Christian were doing their thing, I thought that was really good, but kind of everything in between, it was not the best. But with the kind of hot open that they had, I was kind of fine with them bringing it down a tad bit. Then we bring out some veterans and a service dog and God bless America. We get some like patriotic quotes up on the
And
screen.
lead by Sean D, of course, who was recently signed with AEW.
God bless America. And then we get Anthony Ogogo with QT Marshall taking on the American Dream, Cody Rhodes with Arn Anderson. The match goes about 11 minutes. Cody, kind of selling a little bit for Ogogo, but Ogogo wasn't like the dominant force that he's been on Dynamite these past few weeks. Cody gets the win. I didn't think it was that great. I didn't exactly have the highest of expectations. I was hoping Cody could get something out of him, but it didn't happen. But Cody did get the win, which I think is definitely the right decision in this match.
Look, I love Cody Rhodes to death. Brandon knows. I was on the Cody bandwagon when he left WWE. This did not need to be on pay-per-view. This could have been on Dynamite. This and the TNT title match could have both been on Dynamite. We could have saved time. We could have done this podcast like 2 hours ago.
Thank you.
Okay. It could have been on a big episode of Dynamite. You could have done the whole pageantry. You could have done all that. You could have done all that on Dynamite.
Yeah, and it seems that this match is like way over the top, especially with Cody like wearing kind of like a coat like from a Civil War era, and like his theme song is like pretty much a little bit over the top too, adding in some trumpets too. It's like, okay, we get it now. I just hope this is just a one-offer for him being called the American Dream, because I'd rather have him being the American Nightmare. But the match itself, it is pretty unnecessary. But I do want to give props to Anthony Ogogo for delivering the frog splash to Cody. That was a pretty impressive frog splash for him. So props to him. But seeing Cody with a finisher, the inverted breaker to pick up the victory.
The vertebraker, or in Japan, I forgot who used it, but they called it the kudo driver. That was different. It just goes to show you don't need to use your finish to beat everybody, and I like that.
Exactly. So I just hope that like whatever Cody is having a situation with the factory, it has to stay in Dynamite. And of course we have like, up until All Out, like I mentioned it in the last episode of the Bulletcast, like it's going to be a speculation match between Cody and Dustin against QT and one of the members of the factory, or pretty much another Cody versus QT's match once again with speculation.
Then we get the TNT title match. Phillip said this shouldn't have been on the pay-per-view. Miro, the champion, takes on Lance Archer. This one only goes 10 minutes. It was kind of a sprint. Both big, beefy men bumping meat, as Big E would say. And Miro gets the win via ref stoppage after he hits the accolade, or whatever the hell they call it in AEW, for the win. So he retains. I mean, it was cool, I guess. Jake the Snake comes out with presumably a snake in a bag, and then Miro beats up the old man and takes the snake bag and yeets it back up the ramp. Cindy, what did you think of this TNT title match?
This match should have been like 7 minutes, and that's it, because 10 minutes is too long. And like I agree with Phillip, this match should have been on on AEW Dynamite itself. But the match was like, pretty solid. I mean, I know that for a fact that like Lance Archer's trying to beat the holy crap out of Miro, especially he put Miro through the table outside of the ring. That was like a pretty cool moment. But the only thing that everybody was talking about more is how Miro did through the snake like across the stage, of course. Yeah. So it's like, dude, it's fake. Come on now. Like, it may be a snake, or it could be something else in it too, but who knows? But then, of course, like Miro did deliver a submission hold to Lance Archer until Archer did definitely passed out and retain the title. Nothing much to say about this, like I don't get it why it has to be in a pay-per-view quality. Like, it should just axed it. But yeah.
That's it, Brandon. I don't have anything to say.
I mean, I think I'm going to be a little easier on it, being that it was a little shorter at 10 minutes. It was more of a sprint. The work itself was like fine, but being that is a championship match, I have a little bit more okay of it being on there. I think the Cody Rhodes thing, that one doesn't have to be on there. Sting, the tag team match, like, yes, it is Sting's first match. Maybe that can be a a main event on Dynamite, but when it comes to title matches, I'm more lenient of having those more on the pay-per-view just to give them a little more gravitas. They hype up a video package that All Out is returning Labor Day weekend in Chicago.
Yay!
Another Sunday night pay-per-view. We out.
Yay!
Yes, but Full Gear will be on a Saturday night.
And not at the Cow Palace, but at St. Louis.
Yeah.
I was holding my breath, but didn't happen.
Cody, remember the Bay Area ties, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Revolution.
Cow Palace.
Yeah.
That would be dope.
Right. It's going to be pretty sold out since that wrestling is like going to be almost back in California.
One of these days. Then the 6th match on the pay-per-view card, we get Hikaru Shida taking on Dr. Britt Baker with Reba, not Rebel, for the AEW Women's Championship. And everyone kind of expected this to be the case. And Britt Baker gets the Women's Championship in 17 minutes. Reba does get involved a little bit, hits Britt with the crutch. That is not the finish. However, they go a little bit longer. Reba gets the boot. She gets sent off, and Britt puts in the lockjaw for the tap out win. 17 minutes, new champion, kind of what we expected. Phillip, what did you think of this match?
This was 17 minutes?
That's what my boy Wade Keller's saying. Okay.
I mean, I was on the phone, so I was kind of in and out of it. I think the NWA Women's Title match was better. Don't get me wrong, as far as a work rate capacity. I mean, look, Sheeta and Baker, they worked their asses off tonight. I did have my moments when they hit the Falcon Arrow. I'm like, oh my God, they better not screw over Britt. But all in all, she got the job done, and the crowd was kind of dying in the match. But once she won, I think the crowd really got amped up for it, and it brought it home. Tony Schiavone hugging her while she's walking up the ramp as the new women's champion. It was a feel-good moment. It was a feel-good moment. So I'm happy for Britt. Congratulations. She's earned it. This is why she was the first woman signed to this company.
Indeed. And it's really way overdue for Britt Baker to become the AEW Women's Champion. And I like the fact that you have is Britt Baker wearing a black and red ring gear, and Hikaru Shida wearing all white ring gear, which is kind of like the angel versus the devil. But then someone on Twitter mentioned that if you're wearing all white, that means you're going to take an L on this match. And that's the case that happens. I do agree with you, Phillip. I feel that the NWA Women's Championship match was a bit better than the AEW Women's Championship match. But these ladies did an impressive job, especially how both ladies did kick out to each of their signature move, and especially the fact that you have Britt Baker was trying to attempt to do the lockjaw, but then Hikaru Shida did do the roll up for a 2 count. And when Shida did the jumping knee strike followed by the Tamashi, that's where Britt Baker did kick out for a 2 count. And pretty much it's like a lot of pinfalls in this match. But then again, Britt Baker did do the crucifix bomb for a 2 count, followed by the lockjaw, and boom, she definitely won, and she really deserves the W and become the AEW Women's Champion. Now, all I can say this, the AEW Women's Division is now in a full reset mode, because now there's going to be a lot of the AEW Women's roster will definitely going to be the one that's going to target Britt Baker, and I cannot wait to see her title run. I'm so happy for Britt.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Britt can do. I mean, she comes out and she got a mega pop. I mean, she got a big pop on Dynamite as well. And so, I mean, I think by this year's end, she's going to be a babyface sooner rather than later. And the beginning, the crowd was really into it. As you guys said, they kind of died off in the middle, but then like the last 5 minutes when it was the finishing sequence, they did pick up and they got the crowd back into it. I think this match was a tad bit disappointing. I had kind of high expectations. Neither one of these women had their best match on this show, but Britt gets the win. And going further on down the line, where do I see this? I don't know. I mean, Thunder Rosa, she's still with the company. I mean, kind of loosely. I think that's what you go with at All Out. You run that back for the actual proper AEW Women's title and see, what they can do.
The only match that I'm waiting to see from Britt Baker, and we haven't get a chance to see, is Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander. Even though Chris Statlander is aligned with Best Friends, but I can see her getting like a future title shot against Britt Baker.
I think you do that on Fight for the Fallen or Fighter Fest, one of those two shows. Yeah, I think that's where you do that. Preferably the July one. That way
Yeah.
you give Statlander time to build up on Dynamite and not just Dark and Elevation, where a lot of people really don't even watch that.
Oh, totally. And I know for a fact that we're supposed to be waiting for a return from Anna Jay sometime soon, like around the summertime to early fall from her injury.
Yeah, she's in the wings, and she'll get a huge pop because of the Dark Order thing.
Mhm.
Maybe there's another thing we could run back. Her and Big Swole proper
Yep.
in a ring, because I think that would be something interesting.
Yeah, since Big Swole, she has a new look, new attitude. I could see her having a banger of a match with Britt Baker, DMD.
Why are you muted?
Because I didn't click the button, Phillip. Okay, Sting and Darby Allin team up to take on Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. Sky and Page make the entrance first, and then we get one of those whatchamacallit, little vignettes, those little dark, sinister, little black and white vignettes with Darby and Sting. And Darby just bombs down a hill, and then he's skating, and then Sting picks him up in his little convertible, and they ride on down to Daly's place. They're so cool, and they show up, make their entrance. Sting wearing a sweatshirt, big pop when he takes the top off, and Sting jumps off the chips. Big pop from that. That's getting the gifs all over the internet. All in all, 13 minutes. Sting and Darby get the win. And yeah, I mean, I think this was a fun match. Obviously, they didn't set the world on fire in ring wise. Ethan Page once again tries to kill Darby Allin, yeeting him into the crowd of plants. But I thought this match was a lot of fun. But Cindy, what did you think of this?
Yeah, this match was pretty much fun. I do notice that Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky finally came out to their own tag team theme song and a new Titantron, of course, which is like a combination of Scorpio Sky's theme with a little bit of an Ethan Page theme as well. So it is pretty much more fitting for both of them. But then again, you have, of course, this match itself. I think that it's a pretty much more of a cohesive match, especially you have the whole fan is like way behind Sting. And I'm surprised Sting started off this matchup against Scorpio Sky and how like everybody chanted he still got it, especially when Scorpio Sky did deliver like the vertical suplex off the stage from Sting, which is like a brutal bump. But then once he kind of like stared down with Darby Allin, that's where Sting got up and of course and started continuing to attack them. So pretty much it is a really fun match. Of course, Sting delivered the Scorpion Death Drop to Scorpio Sky to pick up the victory. And I'm glad that there wasn't even no upset victory, even though I did pick Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky to win because I do see there may be some upset going on, but it kind of like flipped the switch going on. It's just for the fact just to cater the live crowd itself, especially this is the first time in like, 6 years that Sting wrestled in front of a full crowd.
Look, honestly, this was pretty good for a 61-year-old man. It was all right. My opinion, Sting, your last match was for the world title. You could have hung him up after that. It's just my opinion. Where does Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page go from here? Scorpio Sky just won the Face of the Revolution ladder match. I mean, come on. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are you losing to some skinny dude and some old man that their only bond is that they're kind of weird and wear face paint? What are we doing? What are we doing?
I don't think
Scorpio Sky was a tag team champion.
Honest.
Wait, what'd you say?
They shouldn't be a tag team to begin with. They should be their own thing.
Well, yeah, that too, but still, they should have won this. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Go back to Dark Elevation then.
Yeah, like this is bad. This is very bad.
It is bad since the Bucks retain the title, and that kind of hurts like the tag team division.
No, no, the Bucks, they should have kept the championships. They're kind of on a roll right now, and Mox and Kingston being tag champs, I don't think it works for the story at the moment. Like a really seasoned tag. Like, could you imagine the pop if the Varsity Blondes took the titles off of the Young Bucks?
That would be unexpected, especially with Brian Pillman. Ever since this whole episode of Dark Side of the Ring featuring Brian Pillman, that actually gives like more of a credibility for Brian Pillman and his wrestling career. I know we're talking off subject.
Yeah, I mean it didn't work for me. Sting, get your little victories, do this final lap. You know, that's it. We'll give you your flowers, and then yeah, you can move on.
Mm-hmm.
I picked Sting and Darby to win the match. So this one didn't come as too big of a surprise. But I mean, Darby, he got one of the biggest pops of the night. He's over. I know maybe you like, oh, why are you having this old man get the victory? But I see more of it of having Darby get the victory. But I mean, Paige and Sky. I mean, even when they first got together, I still never exactly saw what the reason was behind them. I mean, Sky left a tag team or a faction to join another tag team, and then kind of the same thing with Ethan Page over there on Impact. So, yeah, I kind of understand what you guys are coming from, but I think when it all said and done, Sting and Darby individually and together are much bigger deals than what Sky and Page are doing right now.
Look, man, I love what Josh Alexander's doing over in Impact. They should have just swooped up the North. They should have. I mean, the North with those AEW tag team titles, boy.
Right?
Brandon, I know you don't watch Impact. When I tune in, I was tuning in just for them. You know, because my fellow Canadians, they was killing it, boy. Those are some bad mother. Shut your mouths. Those are some bad dudes.
Yep. Right now, Josh is teaming up with P.D. Williams.
Yeah, he's about to get on that hour-long X Division match, which I'm excited for. But Brandon, what else happened on Double or Nothing?
Well, we got the AEW World Heavyweight Title match, not the main event, the penultimate match. The champion Kenny Omega with Don Callis. Callis was at ringside / Allin commentary. He took on Orange Cassidy and Pac. This match goes on 27 minutes. Tad longer than I actually thought this was, but really good, kind of what we would expect. A lot of actual wrestling between Kenny and Pac. Orange Cassidy comes in, kind of does his shtick, but Kenny Omega gets the win. He hits Pac with, I think, all 4 of his championships, at least 3 of them, and Orange Cassidy comes in, tries to hit the orange punch, but then Kenny rolls him up for the victory. We get Don Callis in the match, and some shenanigans ensue. So we had a few matches with distractions / shenanigans as the finish. But all in all, Kenny does retain, and he will face the Jungle Boy in 2 weeks. Phillip, what did you think of this match?
There was a lot of heightened drama in this match. That I believed a couple times that they were going to put the title on Orange Cassidy. That's when wrestling and storytelling is done right. When you go into a match having a decisive thought, like, okay, this person's going to win, but then at certain points in times and periods during the match, during the duration of the contest, where you're like, oh wait, is that dude going to pull the upset? Are we about to have a party for this dude? You know, stuff like that. The 4 title belts to the head, that was whatever. The orange punch into the cover, and then the crucifix pin to counter it. Shout out Kenny Omega retaining the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. This was a decent contest.
Indeed. I mean, it is a lot of drama. It is a lot of great storytelling going on. Especially, I would say, Orange Cassidy, he actually did deliver. Especially, he came from, this whole, gimmick to, you could see his passion, you see his aggression in this match. That was, pretty outstanding, too. Especially when he delivered the orange punch to Pac, and then trying to do the beach break to Kenny Omega later on. That was pretty impressive altogether. However, Kenny Omega did the one that actually hit referee Bryce Ransford in the back on purpose to make sure that either Pac or Orange Cassidy did not get the victory, of course. But then at the end, Omega did the crucifix while referee Aubrey Edwards was running in and count 2, 3 to have Kenny Omega pick up the victory and retain the title. So this is a really stellar main event match. Great storytelling altogether. And I actually love it a lot more. But the question is, what's going to be happening next with Pac and Orange Cassidy? I know that there was supposed to be a feud going on with Best Friend and the Death Triangle that was supposed to be continuing on.
Well, here's where you introduce the Trios title,
Yep.
or Pac and Orange Cassidy for that. Well, the Trios title, it's officially happening. Tony Khan confirmed that a couple months ago. And the Trios title, not every company does that. I think the only companies that do it currently are AAA, NJPW, and Ring of Honor. So it's not. Mm-hmm. I mean, this will be done on a more larger scale, and I think that's fine. And it'll give different people something to do. Can you think about the different incarnations of champions within the Dark Order or the Hardy family office and stuff like that? So I think that'll be fine. But that light heavyweight title, man, I'm telling you, Pac and Cassidy for that bad boy. Sheesh. What is it? What is that? See, I'm not hip. I'm not on TikTok. What is that? What does that even mean?
I mean, sheesh. I think like when you have two of your hands and then people say sheesh, and you're supposed to be having both your fingers down on your arm. I don't know. That's like how the kids are doing these days.
It's like checking your veins, right? Something like that. Right?
Okay, so the origination is from D'Angelo Russell. Ice in my veins. It's a basketball thing.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay.
You know, I'm the sports guy and the TikTok guy. So
I'm
worlds
more
collide.
Wrestling and promo artist, though.
So he's like Omarion in 2006. He got an ice box where his heart used to be.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Hit it for us, Brandon. Hit that a little bit. No. You icebox. You got to sing a little bit.
I really enjoyed this match. I thought this was maybe like my second favorite match behind the tag team title match. Kenny Omega getting the win. Obviously, we all thought this was going to happen. I think that's what maybe took it away from me a little bit. Is there was no point where I thought, oh, okay, Pac or Cassidy was going to win. Maybe Orange had a slight chance a few times at the end, but this match definitely over delivered from what I kind of expected. I mean, 27 minutes. I didn't think it lasted that long, which kind of shows how much I enjoyed it. Yes, the finish was a little convoluted, but all in all, I mean, I really enjoyed this match. And honestly, I kind of wish this was the main event, because in the proper main event, we had the Stadium Stampede. But
Hold on.
I was getting to it. All right, calm down.
Okay.
They announced Full Gear at St. Louis, and then Tony Schiavone, Studman, and Regan introduced a surprise analyst for AEW Rampage television show every Friday night on TNT, started in August or whatever. And who is it? It's the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
Yes, the WWE Hall of Famer, the former world heavyweight champion. That's my uncle, man. That's my Uncle Mark, man. I'm so excited, man. Shout out Mark Henry. Met him at StarCast. I think he was tired. The interaction wasn't all that great. I'm going to blame it on he was tired. But yeah, man, this is cool. You know, I mean, just think about it, bro. Backstage, you got Jericho, you got Big Show, you got Mark Henry, Christian, you know, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Dean Malenko, Jerry Lynn. Some of those guys are Hall of Famers. Some of those guys are former world champions. Those guys are legends. Billy Gunn, Dustin Rhodes. You have those guys. Not to mention you have Kingston, Mox, Cody, you know, other guys that have been in this game for a very long time. And they're just the learning tree back there. Like if I was a wrestler back there, like a young wrestler, it's a wealth of knowledge. How could you not learn all the tools to perfect your game and be a big star? It's amazing.
Indeed. I mean, this is like pretty much a very surprising moment. Like, nobody expect Mark Henry to be in AEW. Like, I thought he was still part with WWE. But then again, it's like, this is like just like how Paul Wright has made the announcement that he is all elite. I'm very excited to see like how he's going to bring it to the table come in August for AEW Rampage, though. And I'm so curious to say so, at least, especially maybe covering for my show, but that'll be down the line. But all in all, I'm very happy for Mark Henry. He definitely deserves to be with AEW where he belongs.
Yeah, man. I mean, the guy, he's going to be doing this. He's also the general manager of SWE Fury in Texas. So Mark Henry's getting around in the wrestling world, and he's lost a substantial amount of weight. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the world's strongest man get into the squared circle for either promotion.
Quite possibly. I mean, hopefully they kind of keep it to like the Big Show, to where he is more of the announcer, analyst type role. You don't have him in the ring. Maybe occasionally or once in a blue moon, he shows up and he's kind of like the big brother who says, okay, you did too much. You're a habitual line stepper and I got to show you what's up. But I mean, it was definitely a surprise, big pop from the crowd. And I'm excited to see exactly what they can do. Hopefully later on down the line, they can actually start signing some of the WWE talent. Not everybody, but maybe some actual like current stars that they can use on their roster. Then the actual main event, they hyped up some of the matches coming up on Dynamite this weekend. The AEW title next week or in 2 weeks. The Inner Circle takes on the Pinnacle in Stadium Stampede. MJF drove onto the Jacksonville Jaguars stadium. Honest, that The grass looked like trash, so they need to fix that up before the season starts. But just him by himself, and then the inner circle, they, whatever you call it, cascade, whatever, I don't even know what you call it. Not bungee jump, but
They repelled from the scoreboard.
They repel from the scoreboard. Thank you, Phillip. That's why you're here. And they make their entrance with fire shooting off on the barricade or on the ramp area, and then we get the other Pinnacle members show up on a truck, and they all kind of split off. MJF and Jericho do their thing. Santana and Ortiz against FTR do their thing. Hager and Wardlow and Sammy and not Ty Dillinger. What's his name? The chairman.
Sean Spears.
Sorry, I just kind of forget about him sometimes. But they all kind of split up, did their own thing. We had a surprise appearance by Urban Meyer. I know you guys probably don't care about it, but I thought it was amazing. He was like, "What the fuck?" or "Holy shit," or something like that. That was big pop for me on that one. So I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know why the head coach of the Jaguars was in the safeties room, but they go all over the place. They actually get back into Daly's place with MJF and Jericho doing something in the actual stands. And they finish with Sammy and Sean Spears proper in the ring. Sammy gets the win, and the inner circle are still together.
Absolutely. Of course, they're still together, Jericho busting open Maxwell, Jacob Friedman. They brawled for quite a little bit of time. I got hit with a not a stage light, but a big light. Once they made their way out to the fans, got put through that box contraption. And yes, Sammy Guevara with the 630 senton, 1, 2, 3. Inner circle remains intact. The people serenade the inner circle with the Fozzy song. It was a good, wholesome moment. It was a feel-good moment.
Yeah, speaking of pop, remember the part where Santana and Ortiz did while them and FDR were fighting outside the kind of like a nightclub-ish courtyard while the music is playing. Out of nowhere, there's Conan, of course. I actually popped up because, of course, Conan being the member of LAX 2.0, as I like to call it, LAX 2.0 from Impact Wrestling, it actually brings me into a better mood, especially he actually helped out Santana Ortiz trying to attack FTR. Of course, that actually really brought in a smile to my face, and especially have Wardlow and Jake Hager fighting backstage and heading to the freezer box, of course, where Wardlow thought that he's going to be closing the freezer door to Jake Hager, but then of course both guys escape, and they continue on until you saw Wardlow give a spear to Jake Hager, which actually break the wall to the kitchen. So all in all, I thought this Stadium Stampede match was pretty interesting. I honestly feel that last year's Stadium Stampede match was a tad better than this year, but I can understand why, because you have the fans that are officially back, and the fact that Sammy Guevara did actually redeem himself by picking up a victory for Inner Circle. That actually gives it more respect for them too. Although for a fact that I'm kind of a little bit iffy about the Inner Circle being together, because I'm kind of against the whole AEW has way too many faction. But then again, what Phillip has been saying, trios title. Yeah, Phillip.
Well, I mean, it's not even just that. I mean, what are they going to do if they break up? Jericho will be fine. I'm sure Sammy will become a star. What's Hager going to do? What's Proud and Powerful going to do? Proud and Powerful, they haven't been that great even being with the Inner Circle. So imagine what they're going to be without them. That's my whole thing. No, the Chaos Project, we don't need that. You can get rid of the little factions, the Elite, the Pinnacle, the Inner Circle, Dark Order. They can stay. All the other ones, they can dip. That's it. That's how I feel. Except the Factory, because I believe in their mission statement.
I mean, Santana Ortiz, LAX reunion, of course. Diamante, who she's still not signed with AEW yet, but she's been wrestling a lot on Dark Elevation. Having her paired up with Santana Ortiz, you have Conan, who made the appearance, and we can have a full LAX 2.0 reunion, but in a different name, of course.
No, it's the LWO 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. All right, guys. All in all, Double or Nothing 2021. It is in the books. What's your grade, Brandon?
I thought this show, I know Phillip kind of said maybe it was a little bit too long, but I thought it was phenomenal. The actual Stadium Stampede match, I agree with Cindy. I mean, it was like a mixture. Like there was some good, fun parts to it, but then also it was kind of self-indulgent and lasted a little bit too long. But overall, I'm going to give it maybe more on the AEW scale, a B plus. The beginning was really good. Kind of had us a lull midway through. I really enjoyed the AEW World Title match, and then the Stadium Stampede was a little hit and miss. So overall, good show. I don't know if I would say it's exactly worth the $50 because we got the Peacock and New Japan World, and I'm kind of spoiled in that sense, but still a really good show.
Well, that's what you got. You got to split it with somebody, man.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just pay the whole 50. You got to split it.
I'm a big baller, shot caller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know you making that editor money now. You
Mhm.
a real big baller. Cindy, what about you? What's your overall grade for Double or Nothing 2021?
Well, this pay-per-view is quite fun, especially seeing the fans back in full capacity. That actually makes my heart very happy. All in all, like the beginning of the show was really nice, and then like right towards like when you get to the main event, it kind of slowly down a bit too. Like the ending has been, some of the endings of the match, it has been questionable, but then at the end, it is what it is for it. I'm just gonna give it a B plus as well. Is it worth $50? Absolutely, but I just wish I have my friends with me. I mean, hey, the world's going back to normal here in the United States. Why not throw in a pay-per-view party, since all of us are already been vaccinated though?
Yeah, that's the thing to do. Like everybody chips in a little bit. Like let's say you get 5 people together, everybody chips in 10. Boom, there you go. It's that simple.
Or go to the movie theater like you wanted me to go to, Phillip.
Oh yeah, I honestly forgot about that. I would have done that if I had remembered.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that too.
I don't even know if it was playing out here though.
There we go. All out. Get our popcorn and soda.
Yeah, we should all
have
do
a big old time.
Or we can just go to Chicago, guys.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, where's our press passes, Phillip?
I'm working on it. I haven't got one of those emails in a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I'm working on it. If I can get us some press passes for all out, would you guys actually go?
I'm down. I haven't gone to Chicago. I actually have friends in the promo league lives in Chicago though, so that actually pretty much dope. So I'm down.
I can definitely get us press passes for GSW. That is a fact.
Okay.
Those are guaranteed in the can.
Baby steps.
Absolutely. Chill with like Deonna Purrazzo, Alex Hammerstone. Why not? Right? Why not? Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it a B plus. I thought there were good things like the tag match with the Bucks and Kingston and Mox. I thought that was absolutely tremendous. The false finishes, they really did help. Congratulations to Britt Baker. Well deserved. The Stadium Stampede, Inner Circle is intact. Like I said, there were the things that I could have done without. They didn't need to be there. That is going to wrap it up. Brandon and I will be back on Thursday for another edition of the BC. Cindy will be back with us. Oh, God, probably in a couple months.
Yep, or Friday if you need me for AEW Dynamite recap, since it's on Friday night again.
You know what? Yeah, you can come back Friday night. Yeah. I think that'll be fun. You can also listen to Cindy's Into the Stratosphere. She does great work, 30 plus episodes, so she's really getting up there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Episode 38 will be up next week. Not this week, but next week.
There we go. Yes, listen to the interviews I did with Bossman / Anthony Trevino, the promoter of UGWA, the new era Savage, Juicy Finau, and Steven of West Coast Design. There was some very fun interviews. I love those. I'm looking to pump out some more in the next coming months. I've been on the hustle. I've been on the grind, man. That's what we need. We need to produce as much content as possible because this could all go up in smoke.
Oh yeah, and then July hits, of course, West Coast Pro Wrestling. We're all going to be reunited.
We will all be reunited. Got to take a big, nice bullet cast photo.
Hell to the yeah.
Yes, Brandon.
For my bullet cast shirt, I just ordered it on Pro Wrestling Tees.
You bought a bullet cast shirt? Look at that, right. Brandon.
That's right. Look at Memorial Day sale. I don't know if it's still going on until tomorrow. Type in code Memorial.
You're talking about getting press passes and stuff. Maybe I'll just get Cindy one because she has a bullet cast shirt. Yeah, Brandon.
I plead the fifth.
Oh, bro, it's a cheap shirt. I put the cheapest tier that Pro Wrestling Tees has.
Of course, and then if you add the discount,
it's even cheaper.
I spent all my money on Double or Nothing, and then I went to the A's game and I spent so much money on beer because I am a crippling alcoholic.
Yeah, you spent like $20 on a beer. How many beers did you have?
I had 3.
You spent like $60 on beer?
I had 3 beers, but I spent, I bought 2 of them.
So how much was that?
I mean,
it was like $40.
I played the 5th.
Yeah. I bought a 12-pack of White Claw, and that only cost me $20 at Grocery Outlet Bargain Market.
You see, there ain't no laws when you're drinking White Claws.
I need to bring back the A's Access so I get half off everything, and I can just get shit-faced on like $20 a beer.
That sounds amazing. Take me with you next time. Yes, guys, catch me on In the Click. Cindy, where can people find you?
You guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and on TikTok at simply_C_OK. That's SIMPLY_C_OKAY. That's what, right? Making sure everything is in full at once. And yes, I am part of a TikTok promo league called Next Gen Talent TikTok Wrestling Federation, aka NGTTWF, where if you're a wrestling fan and if you want to start somewhere, you guys can definitely cut a promo. It's kind of like a wrestling style promo battle, which like we normally like cut each other's promo out and then pick a victory and all that. I'm part of kind of like you could say the NXT promo league called the Kayfabe Academy, which if I end up winning so much, then I get graduated and go to the main roster. So yeah, y'all check it out.
Brandon, where can they find you? Where can they find Curveballs and Chair Shots?
Well, if you want to follow us on Curveballs and Chair Shots, it's Curveballs and CS on Twitter and Instagram. We are also on TikTok, Curveballs and CS. We've only posted 1 TikTok, but give us a follow. And for me personally, was it Brandon Tanguma _ BRANDONTANGUMA _ I never post anything. So follow Curveballs and Chair Shots because that's where it's at every Friday or Saturday if you like sports and wrestling.
Yes, you know to follow me on the Twitter and the Instagram, Heel Antwine, HEELANTWINE. Bulletcast on Twitter and Bulletcast on Facebook, The Bulletcast on Instagram and YouTube. In the Click, wherever you can find podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm there sometimes as well. GSW, go listen to High Voltage, listen to my commentary. Got some new stuff coming out in the next couple weeks. Complex Conversations, Cheek Lake TV, TNC at the Movies. My buddy Juan has a movie review thing on YouTube. Go follow all that stuff. Stay clean, stay strong, stay safe. Get vaccinated. Diamonds are forever. So is the Microphone Messiah. We'll talk to you guys next time.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.